As the 70s roll in, stability around the world has never been as shaky. Interplanetary alliances join together to seek ideological supremacy across both planets. Cultural shifts are uprooting norms that have been in place for centuries. Technological shifts have been changing how the world itself functions. As these shifts occur, life continues in the Seedbearer region, where a seemingly random group of people have come together to try and make sense of the nonsensical. This is Hazeltown Story. Hello, and welcome to Hazeltown Story Discovery Episode 6. Not real much to say about this one. Spent most of the time investigating the little computer case that we were working on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we are now heading into part 2 of day 3. Yeah, I really don't have much else to say for this one. Just continuing on with the story, which, then in that case, let's just continue on.
I'm Max. I play Aria Stragelle as a doctor slash mortician. And the pronouns are they, them.
Right.
I think that's everything.
Yep. Bob, you're next.
Hello, I am Bobinator. I am playing Ferrus D'Ettero. He is a full-time explorer, part-time TV host for his own TV show, Whole Wide World. And he's a he-him.
All right. Hi, I'm Carnival. This time I'll be playing Elmis Grenner, she, they, an engineer who will often ask the question of, can I do this rather than should I? As evidenced by her inventions, I also play Claudia Lupin, a would-be thief, and Yuhar Govenin, a retired pirate.
Hello, I am of course Deaf Master 780. I play Bob B, a businessman who does nothing illegal whatsoever. Pronouns are he, him. And I also play Nels Masters, a lady obsessed with death. Pronouns are she, her.
I'm TorpidTypist and I play Iravia, she, her, and she's the mad cow your parents warned you about.
With that, we now have the second downtime period. Now, this one is going to be a little bit more interesting because there's actually more things that your characters, now that you actually have something more to look into. I'll do this in alphabetical order because it's actually a lot better now since Turbo is away at the moment, but we can, do this without him at
Damn
the
you,
computer.
Torpid!
So, X, just a reminder.
Yeah.
The things you can work on are acquire an asset. You can work on a long-term or research project. You can relax and recover, which I don't think you didn't use anything stress, so you're probably good on that point. Or you can do more training.
Well, I mean, we've got to think the research right now, and that's the location we saw in the scrying session, so I think I'd want to focus on that.
So, just to go through the mechanical aspect of this is a long-term project.
Yeah.
Answer. Here's the question you should answer. What are you investigating or researching?
I am investigating possible landmarks in that location that are visible that might lead us to a more precise location of the encampment.
All right. To what extent are you researching? By that I mean, are you talking about like just a surface level? Are you talking about a deep dive? Are you talking about a just kind of somewhere in between?
Well, obviously, each one's going to take a different amount of time. It's just a matter of how much time is going to... Because the way I'm looking at it is, we could actually find out while I'm in the middle of doing research, which would make the research kind of pointless. But also, part of me feels like you wouldn't do that. So I'm not entirely sure. I think that because of how, like, sort of generic the scrying sessions kind of sounded, it seems like I should probably go with a deep dive and do a lot of cross-referencing, because just from like what you've seen me do with maps when you're playing like a game and I'm trying to figure out where you are on a map. That takes a lot of effort, focus, and it also takes recognizing patterns.
Yep.
So something like that probably just naturally would be a deep dive, because a surface level thing you couldn't really do when trying to make understand a location off of just information about it.
All right.
I know there's a long-winded way of saying deep dive.
All right. So you are going to take a deep dive, looking into, and let me scroll here. Okay, so you're going to take a deep dive into the location of where the base was that you were located in that scrying session.
Yes.
Can I assist with this?
You know what?
I would say
Yeah.
and like honestly, even if you when it comes back to around to your turn as a long-term project, you could probably help with that as well. So
Because that really falls in line with your because you do like a survival show, don't you?
Right.
Right. So you've got the ability. You know how to read maps. So you're good at reading maps, and my character has a pretty big analytical brain. So the two of us combined should probably work fairly well to get this resolved quickly.
Okay.
So because you are doing a deep dive, I'm going to make this a 12.
Alrighty.
So you are going to need 12 progress units in order to, because that's going to bug me if it's moved out of there. Okay, so let me go ahead and let me double check, cross-reference your sheet to make sure that you don't get any benefits, and to make sure that I apply the benefits accurately. You are the scholar, that's for sure. If given, okay, so I'm going to actually, so Carnival, I actually am going to need, so I'm curious what your thoughts on this, because one of the things that Aria has checked off is got the brochure. If you are given time to prepare, add +1 die, +1 effect to any roll gathering information about the location you are at. Well, that's a location you're at, so that's not going to count. Okay, never mind.
yeah,
For a technicality, when we were scrying, we were technically at that location.
This is true.
So could the wording still count?
I mean, the way that I would say that works, it's like we were there, just
You
not.
were there.
We weren't there, but we were there.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna count that. So, and it's downtime, so you have time to prepare.
I hope so.
First off, I'm gonna also, before I forget, I'm going
Also,
to.
I think this is one of my XP triggers.
I just remembered that okay, good thing that I have that. I need to cross-reference to make sure that your failure, you might have actually gotten XP from that.
Who, me?
No, well, actually, not you. Actually, so DM and Bob, I got to cross-reference because I need to check that you might actually get XP out of those failures.
It says I do. So yeah.
Sorry, XP triggers written anywhere? Let me see.
So look at they'll be in your archetype.
So, quick question. XP gain from an XP trigger. Now, does that XP only apply to the archetype that it was triggered under? Or can it be applied universally? Okay.
So that is only for the trigger, the one that's under.
Okay.
It can also be put into attributes, though. So
okay.
Sorry.
Yes, any failure of a thing also puts XP in a thing. So DM, you actually. Actually, I just remembered. I don't think you failed any. Actually, I don't know if you failed any rolls last time.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, okay. Actually, I'm going to need to cross-reference the past rolls to see if you might have.
I didn't do
missing
anything
XP.
physical or charisma, so I assume I don't get any.
No.
Okay.
Are all of us together? Is Torpid with us right now? In the
So you're in the
office?
downtime period, so you can be wherever you want.
So as I'm working, Aria says to Iravia, you should be more careful with laser discs. They're much like the people we're looking for. Very fragile.
Okay, but I generally don't want to destroy laser discs.
Also, just from this session, so DM, Bobby gets a XP in the cunning because you failed an investigate roll.
All right.
Also, Ferrus, you get a XP in the intellect thing because you failed your research roll.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I forgot that that's a thing. And I probably owe you all a bunch of XP, which I will do after the recording. Anyway, back to basically back to what we were working on with the camp. So, in order to do the look, so yes, your got the brochure gives you an additional die when you're trying to use whatever action roll you want to do the research to find the location of the Cygnus camp. So what you need to do is you need to give me what action you want to roll, and you can basically, as long as you can justify it, I will let you do it.
Remind me how
difference-
assisting works when you let somebody take a lead, help them from there, or
So basically, you spend 2 stress in order to give someone an additional die.
And I can
Assist is one stress.
And
Oh,
I
it's
can
just
also
as one
heal
stress.
your stress.
okay, maybe let me do it then. I think I've got the higher research at 3 dice, right?
Well, I mean,
This is Aria's downtime action. You can
Okay.
do the project when it comes to your downtime actions at the same, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this doesn't really matter the order of who's doing it.
What's the difference between research and investigate?
So researching is basically if you got a bunch of paperwork next to you, you can go and research the paperwork and take the information from it. Investigate is basically looking at minute details that are in front of you, and just taking a look to see how, basically finding out the key information.
So investigate's more surrounding area, and research is more documents and.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So then that means I have no choice but to use my research. And that's I have a 1 in that.
So you have a 1. It's going to be upgraded to a 2 because it got the brochure. You can choose to push yourself and make that a 3, which costs 2 stress, if you want to.
Oh, I should change that. I mean, I can sacrifice 2. Can I use healing stuff on myself?
So, yeah, well, yes, you can use your healing stuff on yourself. The thing I will also say is you're during a downtime period, and one of the downtime actions is to recover, which
Okay.
stress fully recovers no matter how much you had.
So how many actions per downtime do we get?
2.
2. Okay, so I can basically just burn 2 stress and then get it right back. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do 3 die roll on
Now, I will also say there is another thing you could do, which is a devil's bargain, which gives you an additional die on top of the 2 die that you use to push yourself. However, I will name a penalty that you have if you take the devil's bargain. You have to take that penalty no matter what the dice roll is. Which in that case, I will say that the penalty is a lowered effect, which means that you will not get as much it will be 1 less than what the thing is.
I think 3 dice should be fine. There's no need to go silly.
Yeah.
This isn't life or death.
So in this case, it doesn't matter what your position or effect is.
Controlled effect. So it would just default to controlled and limited?
You can put controlled and limited.
It doesn't matter. It's just that's the default of the macro.
All right. Number of dice. 6, 5,
Okay,
and
so
4.
so you get 6, 5, and 4. That means you got a full success.
Sweet.
So that means you get 4 progress units
Nice.
out of 12. So you're a third of the way there now.
All right. And I think this also gives me an XP point. Assist in any investigation by researching a topic and using that knowledge to the benefit of the group. Does that count yet, or do I have to wait?
Yes, that you can go ahead and put that in. Oh wait, actually, I guess that's kind of a third. Okay, whatever. It's whatever this biggest clock is. Okay, so and I take it you're just going to use a recover to recover.
Yeah, I'm
from
gonna
that?
rest up after that. That was tough. Those maps.
All right, Ferrus,
All right.
you can
3
work
dice
on
again?
that. Well, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
So you can choose to work on that same clock if you so want to.
Yeah, I'd like to help with that.
Okay. how would you like to work with that?
I guess I'll be at the same library, just looking at the atlases and trying to cross-reference and all that.
So actually, first off, I'll say that is so because it's dealing your cross-referencing nature. That is +1 to your die. I was more thinking, what action are you going to use?
I guess work on a project, if that's what you mean.
Well, which one of your skills? So are you using research, investigate?
Research.
Okay. So you have 3 die off the bat.
Okay.
You could push yourself for 2 stress. Give that 4 die.
You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm doing a lot of stress yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's 4 die. Unless, and I can make that 5 die if you want Devil's Bargain. Which it's going to be the same bargain. It's going to be 1 less progress.
No, not in this case. Controlled?
Yep, controlled and it just whatever one you want to pick.
Standard effect?
Yep. That I think. All right, so that's you almost failed. 3622. So you got a full success. That is 4 additional pips.
Right, we're already halfway there.
Actually, you're a third of the way there, I think. I don't know how many are in this one.
Well, you said it was 12, and 2 4s is 8. 8 is half. No, 8 is not half of 12. 6 is half of 12.
It's a third.
Okay.
No, I'll just keep putting pips in the however this many is. So if you want to recover that stress, you can, or you can work on it again because you have 1 more action you can do.
Well, since you've said like buying things in action, I'm going to take care of that.
All right, so acquire an asset.
Right.
Let's see. How does that mechanically work? Okay, and it says work towards getting a specific piece of specialized gear that your character has, but get. I did not write the rules for how that works, but I think that actually technically, what are you acquiring?
Outdoors hunting things like camo might be useful. Maybe like a tree stand if you want to be stealthy.
Okay, so in that case, I'm just going to say you now have outdoor gear. You can just find that however you want.
Can I get that from multiple people if they want it?
I would say sure. That's
okay.
Like,
Anybody
I would say it's a group asset. I would say
anybody who thinks it'd be useful, they'll get some of it too.
Well, yeah. So what I think I'll just do is the fact that I'll just have it so that that's just a thing that you have with you is camping gear, and before you actually use it, you can say what you want that to be, and if it's makes sense, then you can just have it.
Sounds good.
All right. So that's Ferrus done. Elmas, what do you want to work on?
Gotta get especially now that Toby's wants to help. I gotta definitely fish that stealth drive now. So,
all right. Go ahead and roll what you want to roll.
All right, that's a 4.
So that's partial, which I believe is 2, or let's see, partial is 3.
3, and then let's see, do I get? I also get an additional tick to any crafting item, so that's 4.
Okay.
And so we're gonna work on it again.
All right.
That's a crit.
Okay, that's 6. So
no, that's 2 6s,
7.
so a crit. Yeah, so here we got the stealth drive, I think.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. Okay, so yes, the cameras are now stealthed.
Oh yeah, no, we open up the scene where Elmas comes out of the workshop that she basically built into the office, and everybody look, has the cameras doing a dance routine as they switch between going invisible and not. What? No reaction to the new improvements?
Ferrus is going to say he's very worried.
I'm not going to sell this to anybody.
I'm sorry, you showing off the stealth drone? Sorry.
Yes.
He's
more
worried.
Where are we? Are we in the fucking room?
We're in the office.
My room? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna grab a chair and hold it at the fucking drone.
He's going to ask you're not going to like rob a bank with this or something, are you?
Oh, why would I do that? I just build this because it's fun.
Just worried about them getting into the wrong hands.
Gotta climb up onto the desk with a chair and try to slam dunk that fucking drone.
And Bobby's not there.
But yeah, like, again, I don't make these to sell. I make these because these are challenges and not boring.
They're They're terrible.
Okay.
So a character I was gonna be like, oh, they're unethical. I realize, when is fucking Aravia ever cared about ethics?
Yeah.
No, she just hates the idea of being spied on by an invisible drone.
Would you rather be spied on by a visible drone?
I will destroy that one too.
All right. So that is you have finally completed the stealth drive.
And Aravia has destroyed it. Yay!
As if Elmas wouldn't keep a backup knowing this full well.
Yeah.
Would be like Elvis has probably got like 5 backups in like
I
at
would
least.
imagine that this isn't just one that's upgraded. I'd imagine this is a couple that are upgraded.
A fucking small fleet.
Oh yeah, no, they're all like I have. She hasn't gotten the entirety of the full set yet, but it's more of like, yeah, I've got it saved. Got several saves off site because just it's ready to go.
All right.
Aravia eyes you warily.
All right. So with that, Bobby, it is now your turn to downtime.
All right, so I don't know if this is a downtime option or not, but Bobby's going to go visit the character that's under his assistant ability.
All right.
Yes. It's a new character. One Greg G. Gregerson, owner of Greg's and Bobby's mentor, and also one of the higher ups in the consortium.
All right.
Do you think Bobby's slimy and got shit on this fella?
Right.
And Lolo just says a note, since you're going to have to play this guy. Remember Money Bags from Spyro?
I hate him already.
He's that.
All right. What? So what is the end result of this action?
Determining the competition for the factory place.
Okay, so effectively this would be acquiring an asset. And
Yes.
This would be a non-tangible asset.
Yes.
Um,
Information.
Let me just try and think about what I can give you in this case. Now, is the information you're specifically trying to think of any one that could be trying any? Is your information that you're ultimately trying to acquire is who could benefit from basically the knowledge of what's in the robotics factory for their own gain?
Yes.
Okay,
Be they corporate or political or whatever.
Let me think about that. Let me think. Okay, and his name's Greg G. Gregerson?
Yes.
Okay. So you go to his office, it's like, oh
no,
Bobby!
lunch.
Or there's lunch. Okay,
Yeah.
so visiting... Okay, so where are you at?
Just some fancy restaurant.
Okay, so you're at... I don't know, some fancy restaurant. I don't... This is...
That's the name.
Yeah, sure, it's fancy restaurant is the name. It's like the fancy motel, or fancy hotel that we had the other arc. Actually, you know what, actually, because I am morbidly curious. Okay, fancynamegenerators.com. Are you going to fail me like you've failed me in the past?
Of course.
Place names. Restaurant names. Go.
Edo Rama.
Okay. I'm just going to copy paste the names that it gave me in the chat.
Call it
I need to
Joe's.
see this.
One of them was the goat, and one of them was just called
Oval
Lily.
Lion.
The Oval Lion.
Okay,
The Boiling
but
Devil.
the Jade Dome. Two
Mirrors
enter,
backstage
one
is
leaves.
pretty awesome.
I like the super long one. That makes no sense.
So it's
Or-
actually those are breaking up. So it's mirrors, backstage, the goat, the garden, Lily.
I like the boiling devil.
The boiling
let's
devil
go.
is
Just call it Joe's.
I'm
Eat at
just a
Joe's.
fan of the Jade Dome because I just imagine 2 people going out to eat and only one coming home.
let's do the Oval Lion because the Oval Lion is funny.
The Oval Lion sounds unfortunate.
Okay, this is a tangent, but the problem is it just reminds me of there's a strip club by me called the Oral Office, which is a really good name.
Damn, that's way better than any of the ones I heard around here.
Okay, so Bobby is meeting Greg G. Gregerson at the Oval Lion. Oh yes, Bobby, hello. How are you doing?
Greg, my friend, how's it going? Stands his
Oh.
hand for a handshake.
Oh, it's going quite good. So,
Obviously.
what can I help you with?
Well, as I mentioned on the phone, a bit of business going on.
What's that?
Bobby will fill him in on the factory situation and then conclude with, so I was wondering, who exactly would it? Is it that has interest in this factory?
Not anyone that I can think of off the top of my head. But, robotics. Robotics. Bit new for a bit of our old blood. But, I heard the grapevine. I heard that, there's a group of people who are looking into robotics.
Who?
I think, the name of the group's Orion?
Ryan, you say?
Orion, like, the belt.
Isn't that also the name of that cult? Not the Nazi one, the other one that's been running around these parts?
Yeah, it is. Apparently got some, people with money in them. Might, have some use for some parts.
That's good to know. Actually, speaking of the Nazis, I wanted to deliver you this. Pulls out the piece of paper with the names of the politicians, the Cygnus people we're targeting that we found out last time.
Yes.
Hands that to Greg and says, seems like our good buddies Cygnus are making a move on on these people. Noticed some friends on that list, so I imagine this will be far more use to you than it is to me.
That's quite disturbing. I'll go ahead and make sure that get some extra security to these folks.
Yes. Talk to Jonesy, if you haven't already. This whole thing's Canary Group related.
Are they poking their nose into it?
Oh, they're doing what they always do. Talking shit. Getting other people to clean up the messes.
Well, at least right now they're not poking their nose in our stuff.
Yeah. Well, they always try. And it always fails.
We're still standing.
Indeed. Well, thanks for the tip. Drowns. It's a glass of champagne. See you around.
Good seeing you again.
Yep.
I hate that I was trying to do a British accent because I was trying to think of Moneybags, but it ended up kind of sounding like almost a Peter Griffin.
It just sounded like your voice, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
It sounded different from most of the voices he does.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't
And
tell
attempt
you
was
were doing
made.
it.
Good job.
Tell you.
What was that?
Couldn't tell you were doing an accent. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I could tell you were doing a voice, but not an accent.
There's a reason why I don't do accents other than I think accents are bad.
Honestly, it sounds less like British, more like an old-timey like announcer voice.
Yeah. Yes, actually, that's probably more accurate than what I was going for. Anyway, okay, there is your required asset. So there's one. You have another downtime activity.
I will also, actually, since I have that information, are there any downtime actions I can do with that information?
So you could do some sort of research into the group. But what exactly you'd have to, so you could research into it. That being said, you'd have to figure out what exactly are you wanting to research.
Good question. You know what, I'll hold off on that. That might need some more people. I'm just going to train Face then.
All right. So with that done, Torpo.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, you could. Also, actually, didn't you take some stress last time? No, you did not.
I never take stress. I've never taken stress in my life.
There. Okay, so unless you want to research into something, probably training or acquiring assets. I don't know what that would be though.
Or finish off the necklace project.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was still going or not, or if we had just like fucking whisked that away.
Still on there. Still needs one more.
You know,
pip
fuck
to
it. Let's
finish.
finish that then, instead of constantly pumping up my stats.
All right. Okay. So let me remember what exactly that was. So you found the necklace at
Is
The
that the
haunted mansion.
statue?
It is the
Yeah.
statue. Let me double check what the guy's name.
It was how he's using it to communicate with the ghost in the house.
Michael
Yeah.
McDickle.
Damn thing. Okay, I've already lost my own thing. Okay, so that's what I was looking for. Oh,
Nice,
it's scrolled
nice,
down.
nice.
You were looking for Reed Winters. That was the guy's name. So yeah. You found the necklace there, and you found a jewel, and you're researching to what potentially communication you had with it. So yeah, go ahead and how do you want to interact with researching into this necklace?
No, I figured the only one in that category that would check. Yeah, I think the only one that would actually. I still don't know what focus is. I don't know. I know the description of focus changed. I don't know what focus is anymore.
Okay, the
So-
focus, the ability to not be distracted by outside forces, as well as the ability to keep calm. Wait, is that?
The one on my list is wrong. I know this.
Wrong on all mine too, I guess.
Yeah, I need to. Well, I
think
can.
Lola
Okay,
didn't update a bunch of the sheets, but yeah, go on.
okay. Let me go through. Okay, the guide has it. What it is supposed to be the focus, according to this, which is going to be the law on this. The ability to focus on performing a task requiring. The ability to focus on performing a task and requiring focus. Great
Oh my
writing.
God.
Me. And the ability to resist being distracted or keeping your cool.
I mean,
Some
I guess
examples
that's...
are I would like to focus on this particular person and see where they move in the crowd. I would like to focus on being able to perform the read memory ability. I would like to focus on being able to pick this lock in peace.
I guess focus would be the stat to use, wouldn't it? If not investigate, my
You
single
could,
solitary
in theory,
die.
You could, in theory, use focus.
I'll use focus because fuck using investigate.
All right, you have 4 die to begin with.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
I'll just use. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say you have 4 die, which, according to probability, means you're probably going to succeed. You need 1% progress, which means I actually think this is an
Hey,
exercise.
actually, it's 5 dice.
Yeah, because you're dealing with supernatural, aren't you?
Yep.
It's a fucking beacon.
So you're at so with 5 die, your probability of success is 98%.
Well, boy, howdy. I hope those numbers are right. What does it mean? Oh, actually, this is an action roll, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an action roll.
Yeah, it's like, put a fucking label first. I'm like, what label? Focus. So what is it, controlled?
It doesn't matter because you're researching.
Okay. Standard. It doesn't matter. It does. None of it matters. None of this matters.
You
I
critted.
wonder how well I did.
46536. You critted. Which gets you 6 progress. That thing's done.
Yeah, I needed it.
So from that, you look into the necklace, and the necklace, as you kind of look into it, so what is the situation that you're looking at this necklace? So where are you?
Don't even. I'd assume I'm in the office at this point. My office, my home. I live here now.
All right. So I think you're just looking at this thing on a table.
Yeah, trying to figure out, what's going on. Commune with it as best I can. Obviously, it has something to do. Well, obviously, I can in some capacity.
Okay. So you take a look at this. You take a look at this necklace, and something inside you says the word mirror.
Okay.
So basically, something about it says it gives you like, hey, you should look in a mirror.
Yeah, I should look in a mirror. Are there any mirrors in the office, or do I need to actually hunt down a restroom?
I would imagine you would have some sort of mirror there, especially if you are actually living there.
Office is nothing but mirrors.
I mean, if nothing else, you could always ask Elvis. I'm
Or
sure
probably
she's
like a hand mirror or something like that. I would imagine you'd have some sort of mirror.
Going to the restroom to look at the mirror.
I mean, you can do that.
No, obviously there's a hand mirror probably somewhere on the desk.
Okay. So I take it you look in the mirror?
Yeah.
You look in the mirror, and behind you, you see not like there is a person there, but you see like an image of a person standing behind you. The person that is standing behind you,
Ah, yes, my stand.
on the thing that you see a person behind you, but the thing that is very off-putting to you is that it is masculine looking. It is actually the presence is that of essentially an ape man. Like think of like Planet of the Apes, kind of like
Oh,
ape.
okay.
With you don't see color it's a the image is there, but there's no like color to it. But you see the image of them standing behind you, or like looking like over like if you're sitting down, they're like crouching behind, like doing that like kind of get down to someone of their height kind of thing,
I can't
looking into the
believe
mirror
they're
behind you.
aggressively squatting at me.
And you see them looking straight into the mirror.
I'm gonna wave at them.
Hello, Aravia.
I, uh, uh, hi.
I see you took the necklace.
I mean, I thought we went over this. Of course I did.
This is going to be interesting.
So, why are you?
Um, because I like to take a look at things.
And why do you appear in the mirror?
Um, for dramatic effect.
That sounds stupid, and you know that's stupid.
Look, it was my favorite trick to do to read.
I mean, that's just, actually, that sounds like me pretty funny.
Look, the man was high off his ass most of the time. It was actually very funny.
On the bright side, you're in a place far more boring, so congrats, you moved up.
Yes, I suppose.
There are more people to screw with, though.
I suppose, but I can't just. I suppose if I'm out here, thing with at the house, it was just the one person. He would kind of just kept to himself. I make my wrong move here, then people are gonna know, and I'm not gonna like that.
Okay. But anyone who comes into this office you can mess with, and I assure you of that.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Just Ravia gives a thumbs up at the mirror.
All right. Well, now that you've worked with the necklace and figured this out, I'm going to go to sleep until I feel like it. Let's just go with that. And then he
Okay,
disappears.
bye. Weirdo.
Office ghost.
Wait,
Office
shit!
ghost.
I should have asked him about me! Fuck! Just Ravia throws the hand mirror to the fucking floor.
Well, at least this time you're blue walling yourself instead of Nellos.
All
Damn
right.
it.
So that was one of your downtime actions.
Gonna need to get a new fucking hand mirror now.
We've got
There,
an
you can-
office ghost.
You can acquire an asset to go get a new mirror.
No, it's fucking stupid. But yes, I'll do exactly that.
All right.
Also, some more stuff to furnish the office a bit more.
All right.
You should have got
Uh,
one of those fold-out couches instead of just a normal fucking couch.
Oh, this thing absolutely what the hell's the name of that? I want to call it a Douglas bed. I don't think it's called a Douglas bed.
No, I hate that my brain keeps going Murphy bed, but I know for a
Isn't
fact
it
it's not a
Murphy-
Murphy bed.
Well, no, that is not a Murphy bed because Murphy bed's something else.
I know, it's way cooler.
I would imagine there would be offices that have Murphy beds in there. But that's actually kind of really depressing. But anyway, okay, you have now all done your downtime actions. So, what I will say, before picking out what you're gonna do on your the next thing, is you. So basically, since you had two sets of people looking into things, they would be done by this point. This is now that the morning is done, you are now into the afternoon, going into the evening. So Toby would have looked at the kind of recording that you gave him. Also, whoever you decide to give the robotics factory drones to, they would also have taken a look at things. So to get the information out of it, for them to parse it, that I can just give you that information. What to do with it is, you can basically act on the information that you're given.
Well, let's get the information first from both before we decide which one to chase.
So,
Yeah. I'd like to save
Um,
trouble. They could just meet at the office at the same time.
so which one would you want first?
Go with the drone, the factory spies.
Okay. So you gave Elmas, who would you give it more to?
Probably Radia.
Okay. So you gave her the information. She's looking into it. And she's kind of specifically taking a look at kind of the location of things that are inside of the storage area. Because especially know that that's where something was stolen. She points out something very peculiar. And it is something that actually, I think, I can't remember if it was Elmas or, I know it was Elmas, because Bobby failed the research role, or whatever role it was, that something came in through the window, but it was definitely not a person. Something very small came in. One of the windows was open where it normally isn't. And it flew through the window and went and grabbed one of the arms from the thing. It had a little bit of trouble going through, but eventually found it, grabbed an arm, and flew it out the window.
Zoom and enhance.
It was the damn selves.
Now, from what you could tell from that, from the actual footage, you were like able to take like photos of it. Like you were able to see what's there. It looked like a drone flew in and took it.
Someone's cutting in on my action. I see.
So yes, you were able to find. Now, did you place any cameras outside? Would you have probably done that?
Probably, given how Elmas was just basically throwing them around, probably at least a few.
All right. So looking into, or kind of at some of the cameras going outside, you saw that basically the drone flew a little bit over to another building and dropped out of the sky. And that's all you could find. Now I should say it like shouldn't say it just completely like ran out of battery and just dropped out of the sky. It basically took a sharp down. Like it just sharp went down. And it looked like it went into like a back area of one of the factories that is nearby.
Okay.
Now, Radio also did some cross-referencing that when she saw that. And one of the things that's actually by there is an experimental hydroponics farm that is named, where is it? This one has a much less dumb name. Probably still dumb. New Dawn Hydroponic Farm.
Oh, that's just the damn Five Cry cult.
Yep, that was. I hate
Why
that was.
does this give me the names of other things?
To be fair, New Dawn is much more generic than the other times that we would have. You've gotten messed over by the Reddit.
I didn't get Stuart Griffin signed.
But still, I wasn't gonna say it, but yes.
To be fair, the New Dawn is definitely one of those more common ones.
It sounds like a salad dressing.
A hydroponics farm? Why would they care? Why would someone be picking up robots parts there? That just seems like a way you're gonna damage not only the farm itself, but also the parts.
Well, guess there's one way to find out. Because after all, I do have a potential lead on who might be behind this. Are you familiar with Orion?
That's the cult at the castle we did, right?
Yes.
Yes,
right.
actually.
I remember that's the first cult. That's Elmas is like trying to remember which through.
Elmas and Iravia were there for that.
So that's Oh god, they're trying to source parts after we screwed them the first time, isn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I guess they're trying to build. My associate told me that they got some big money investors who might be interested in robotics. So
Oh boy, yeah, no, Aravia. This is Aravia and I's first job. They were dragging sylphs into robots to try and use them as terrorists.
well, ain't just the funnest of times. While they're doing this, the damn Nazis are out in the hills planning some attacks.
All right. So yes, that is what you were able to gather from that one. What Toby was able to find from there is he was actually able to find, looking at kind of cross-referencing that map, he was actually able to find roughly where, because you looked at one of the maps that they had, he couldn't pin the location of where they were at either. He has a general idea of, just by looking at the landscape, that it is far more west. It could still be in the Siberian region, but it is most likely more north and much more to the west. So if you look at, if you roughly look at kind of around here, if we're right here, they're probably roughly around this general location right around
The other side of the country, basically.
Yes. Yes.
Or outside of Toby's jurisdiction.
Yeah, like, considering that this is like a state, this, like, basically, like, where that little thing is, like, and not that far off. Like, if you think about this trying to be kind of close to what the US looks like, yeah, that is like 5 states over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell of a place to put your base camp if you're planning on doing something in the Steinwald.
I mean, it makes sense if they're, trying not to get caught.
Suppose it's still, if they're going to mobilize, they got a long ways to drive.
I mean, yes,
happen
but they
between
can
then
just
and there.
set up other camps.
Yeah, the idea
Suppose.
is that there's going to be, like, they might be somewhere around here, but there are also going to be camps here, here. Like, they could dot it along, and they have made it this far, is the thing.
Also, radio, very effective.
But yes, he did happen to notice that there was one in the general vicinity that is probably close enough to his jurisdiction. Or at least enough that it is close enough that he could realistically look into it. Now, granted, he doesn't exactly have a very lawful, like, reason to, like, go full raid. However, if he goes happen to take a look at something on his own time and happens to find something, then he could go. Which is why, if he, say, had some cameras with him.
Yeah, congrats on handing off these sweet stealth cameras off to the fucking government.
Now, the question is, since those drones are likely something hand-built, does Elmas want to go and personally go into that area and kind of look into it?
Absolutely. She's not letting, like, Darren technically can get to use this, but, like, anyone else other than her at this point, and maybe Radiant GS doesn't get to touch the drones anymore.
I can't believe Aravia is not allowed to use the drones.
You destroyed
Yeah, I wonder
them.
why.
I don't think that you're, like, do you ever watch that giant bomb video of that old, like, Battlefield style thing where they're just sitting there, like, here, let's watch a pro do it, and he takes the helicopter, gets into it, and just immediately goes upside down?
Yes!
That's how I feel Aravia piloting a drone would go.
Also, quick question, did you make them tamper-proof?
I would imagine. No, it's not that they're tamper-proof. It's that Elmas's just hackneyed engineering is so complex and just.
Oh, and here I thought you were just gonna have them explode anytime anyone tried to crack them open.
I mean, it could probably happen. And see, that's the next upgrade. Until I can get the AI.
Oh, good.
Oh
You're gonna
fucking
just make him bombs. All right.
I do like you. I do want you to know that this is only happening because you're giving me these ideas.
No.
So here's the thing I was gonna say was that likely if you're gonna go up there and Elmas is going to be doing that, I would say that that is something that is being done on the side while everyone else is investigating, because really it would make sense for only one person to be there, and likely the only thing that will happen is like, hey, you do the thing, and that's
I was
about
gonna
it.
say, I know
That's-
what Aravia's priority is anyway.
That's probably fine. We're at the point in the factory investigation where there's something actionable, so.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say is the fact that Elmas could go and do that, but I would say that if you want to remember, if you want to bring Claudia into this, you do have that.
That I actually was
Yeah,
going
no.
to bring that up, that Bobby was going to call the break-in expert.
Ah,
Hey,
you mean
hi
Aravia.
everybody. Claudia
Howdy.
shows up at the office. Hi everybody.
Oh god, it's
Howdy.
Iravia.
Yes. He waves over Ferrus and Aria.
I'll head over that way.
Bobby introduces Claudia to the two of them.
Oh right, that's right, because you didn't meet her.
Yeah, no, Claudia wasn't around last time.
Hi, Claudia Lupin, master thief and wizard. And Spark does a like hand like prestation thing of just sparks.
I will just tell them that they probably already know who I am. I probably don't need to introduce myself.
You're that nature guy, right?
I am that nature guy.
Cool. And then that's all Claudia's gonna say. Just cool.
Oh, he's gonna look kind of disappointed at that, but oh well.
Bobby will
Alright.
clap a hand on Ferris's shoulder and say, "At least I didn't mistake you for the nature boy again."
Aria introduces themselves with a warm smile and a handshake.
Claudia returns that. Hello. So you need me to do my specialty. You're saying?
Something like that.
Not
We need you to track the source of breaking in. We already figured out how they were breaking in. We just need to figure out the next steps. Bobby will show her the footage.
Okay. So I guess could I do like a roll for like information of just like viewing the footage and just like doing that kind of like an expert watching someone else do their craft and like, okay, I can see where this is. You know
Okay.
that.
Sure. Let me hold on. Actually, let me take a look at Claudia's sheet. So you need a +1 to thing because this is your vocation.
Right.
A
I'm thinking
security
this is
slash thief.
Because this is either diagnose or research. I think would be probably the most direct abilities. Since this is, or probably research because this is reviewing tapes.
Now I will actually give you an option. Depending upon what you're actually specifically looking at, you could also make an argument that sabotage actually might be a way you could like
Okay,
do that.
because
It depends on what exactly are you trying to look at.
I'm looking for the like, because we know it's a drone that got in and out, but we're looking for more of like where the actual like breakpoints of this is coming from. Like, okay, here we can see this is a hallmark of this because they were using this because they knew that ahead of time that this hinge was something that they were using, or like looking for like signs that this was known to be.
So here's what I would say to that. Is I mean, it is your choice of what action you can do. But I will say you have more options than I would just say one or two.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right. In the meantime, hold on a thought. Is there anything else that anyone should actually say after this?
Sorry, well, it was my.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But what are you asking again?
So I'll just say this for your thing. Now, I would say since you're looking for something very specific, especially regarding breaking in, I would say that you do have more options than just taking a look at it.
All right, we could scry in, but
Well, not even that. I would say, thinking about what actions or what skill you want to use. Because I
right.
would say, if you want to, you could use sabotage.
Okay, yeah, I'll probably then use sabotage because this is looking for like, okay, this is someone who clearly this is someone who already knew the field it's such to get this break in here. So this is to look for like the specific like, okay, we can know that this was someone informed on this part of the building because they chose this break point versus they could have chosen this break point and that
Yep.
kind of thing. So yeah, this is definitely sabotage.
I mean,
Okay. What were
I
you
just
gonna
want to bust down their door.
say? All right. So you would have 3 by default.
I'm gonna push myself for 4.
All right.
This is controlled standard, I guess.
This is controlled and probably, I would say normal.
Okay, controlled standard.
Yeah.
6.
So you got a 6. So 1, 6, 2, 1. So yeah, you look at things and you basically look through the footage. You notice that one of the windows is cracked open in such a way that it doesn't seem like it looked like someone, like the window that was open that it flew through was left that way before, like someone opened it, like to likely specifically to help out with this.
All right, so not a zooms in on that window and it's like super grainy for anyone who's not Claudia looking at this. But it's like, see that right there? That was deliberately opened to make it easier for our drone here to get in. That is the proof we need. There's someone on the inside there working.
Well,
This
can you figure out who? Because we kind of already figured that much.
I mean, yes, I figured, always assumed that this inside job is the first thing to. But now you see, this is really good in here because now we have a definitive probable cause. This means we now have the ability to do some more in-depth searching of the facility itself.
I mean, I was gonna bust down their door anyway, but
I mean, yes, but we
Well,
try to wait that for later.
When you say bust down their door, are you talking about the robotics factory door, or are you talking about the farm's door?
I'm talking about the farm.
I would say it is a business that you could probably just walk in and ask about that.
It's not how Aravia works.
Look, Orion is involved, which means sylphs are potentially at risk. You know, Iravia does not abide by that shit.
So, my suggestion as a professional would be a two-pronged assault. But since we don't have time for that, I say we most likely just go ahead, send this over to whoever's in charge of the facility here. Set it up so that we can basically sit down and watch them, and when the drone comes in, because what the time code shows is what time, Lolo, would the drone show up?
So the drone would show up probably at like midnight or someplace, like midnight early in the morning.
All right, we show up right around when the drone shows up, and then we follow it over to the place. Or even better yet, we show up to the New Dawn facility and just stealth our way through that night. So when someone shows up, we can give them the surprise.
All right.
Look, I will absolutely be there.
Okay. Now, so okay, let's figure out what you're planning on doing in the evening here, because we got that still to work for. Let's just go down the list. Aria, what would you want to do now that you have this information in mind? What is there anything in particular you'd want to do?
Could you just kind of give me a summary?
So basically, you found that one of the windows in the robotics facility was left intentionally open to let a drone go in and steal some equipment, and that equipment is being dropped off at a nearby farm.
All right, so this is related to the other case.
You have the computer case. So what's happening with the other cases is that Toby was able to find it, and Elmis is going to the general area to help guide a drone through to get camera footage of the entire area to figure out if there is a way you could probably discover the area in the camp using a safer and more, like basically in a way that it's not a person there so they don't get spooked.
So the options I have are wait for the results of that excursion, or go with whoever's going to the farm.
Yeah, or either the robotics factory or the farm, because you're doing this in the evening, where they're probably still opening. Probably, I should say evening, much less like evening than late afternoon, like around 3 or 4ish.
Who opens in the afternoon? I figure it's going to be some time before we actually get done surveilling the area. So whoever's going to the farm, will join them.
All right, Ferrus.
Yes, I will go with them. It's the best idea so far.
All right, Claudia.
Claudia's heading to the farm because we got to case out the spot before we actually do the thing.
All right, Bobby.
Bobby's going to head to the factory before heading to the farm.
All right, Iravia.
Wants to take a run at figuring out who the mole might be.
See, I'm gonna go to the farm, but hit up the front end, while Claudia does
Casing.
whatever. Yes.
Okay, so in that case, I would imagine since the casing's probably going to be a lone thing, I would imagine that Aria and Ferrus would join Iravia.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so we'll do that. I'll do the factory first because it'll probably sir. So Bobby, you go into the factory. Is there anything in particular? Well, go ahead.
Heading for the manager's office.
Okay, so you go up to Brian's office, and he's still working on something. He's like, "Oh, Bobby, is there anything you need me for?"
Oh, as I told you before, it's you who need me. For I have found your competition.
Oh?
Oh, yes. Cultists.
I'm
Orion,
sorry,
to be
what?
specific. Are you familiar with Orion?
I've heard about them. Do you think they might be involved in this case?
Oh, yes. Close personal friend of mine gave me some very reliable information that suggests that, yes, they might be responsible for this.
Okay. I don't think I suppose someone could be part of this, but I wouldn't have any idea who. What makes you think that they're involved?
Just a quick thing. They're like what would I use for like I don't know, like sense motive or whatever? Like to figure out this dude's the mole.
You know what? That might be. I would argue. Let's see.
Or just reverse deceive. I don't know.
Oh, let me check. Oh, let me take a look. Focus. I would argue focus might be one.
No,
Diagnose could also be another one.
You always know when someone is lying to you anyway.
Oh, that is a good point.
Yep.
I think you do have the thing that is, when someone's lying to you.
Yeah, knows like I have that. Is he lying?
He is not lying.
All right. Well, that's all I really needed to know.
Okay. So yeah,
Bobby will tell him. So, we also figured out how they were breaking in. It would seem that this place is not just. There are more drones in here besides the one my friend put up. There are drones coming in through your windows.
Through the window?
Oh yes. It appears someone propped the thing open in a specific way that a person could fly a drone in, snatch the thing, and then fly it back out.
Huh. They did have a window open this morning. I didn't think anything of it. I thought that it was just someone had it open just to get a little bit of air in the morning, but I didn't really think of anything like anything could fly through it.
Be an air-conditioned facility.
It is, which is also the other thing.
Yeah.
Which makes it sound even stupider.
Well, we determined this guy was not smart early on, so
Also, I just want to say really quickly, every time we talk about drones, all I can think of is that one stupid video of the dildo copter with the heavy voice. Every time, that's all I'm thinking of.
The dildo cop that's attacking Gary Kasparov, yes.
Yes, exactly.
Featured
It's
in
so good.
Retro Rank Rhapsody episode, whatever the one, that chess one that I'm never doing again is.
It's all I'm thinking of every time a drone is mentioned. I just
Alright.
felt everyone needed to know that.
Alright. So yeah,
related. Did we not catch anyone propping the window open at any point in the footage?
Better question, was it ever closed on the footage?
that is a good point, that you could, I suppose you could figure out whether or not there was someone there, but that's not now. Unless you want it. Okay, how does flashback actions work?
Basically, you do a flashback because you describe something that Woody you could have done, and but just wasn't on screen because it wasn't relevant at the time. But it costs stress to do said action if it like has an action roll and like the degree of improbability, which considering that we had the footage and we're just scrubbing through it, I figure this is like a no stress one.
Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, if you want to spend, like, I'll say, like, one or two stress, I would say 2 stress to figure it out, like, absolutely. You could.
Oh, so you're saying 2 stress, that would just give us the perfect information right then there.
Yeah.
Sure, 2 stress.
Okay.
Do we all need to spend that or just them?
Nope, just them.
me.
So going back, when you actually looked at it, you did actually see that during when you were looking over the footage. There we go. When you were looking at the footage, you did happen to see that there was a yes, you did see someone open up one of the windows. They are like a like kind of average size brown hair, like kind of cut pretty cleanly, probably early 20s. But it was like a human that did it.
Oh man.
And could we have like gotten like a printout of that of him?
Sure. You know what? Yeah, you would have that.
It's an absolute
Bob-
tragedy that all humans look the same.
Yeah. Bobby will pull out the picture and show it to Brian and says, "Who is this?"
He kind of looks at it and I was like, you know what? I think this might be Joe? Yeah, I think I might know who yes. He's an intern here. Yeah. I think that's him.
Do you have security here? Security guards?
Not really.
Well, you'll have to do this the hard way then. Come with me. Take me to him.
Okay, I guess, I mean, we can, I don't think we need to do anything too harsh to him.
Agreed. But something needs to be done.
Okay.
Before he causes any more harm.
All right, so he kind of takes you to where he's working. He's kind of working in one of the, he's working in one of the computer rooms. He's working in an office, just kind of working at a computer. And there's like a few other people in the room. And then, yeah, so you're basically taken to him.
Bobby will head over and sit down on his desk. Howdy.
Hello, sir, may I help you?
Well, I sure hope so. Tell me, does it get stuffy here in this factory?
Occasionally.
The air conditioning's not adequate?
Well, it's nice to get, fresh air in every once in a while.
Yes. Suppose it is. Mind if I smoke?
I
Bobby,
was gonna say,
pulls out a cigar regardless.
also, I would say it is the 70s. People are probably already smoking.
Bobby likes to give the illusion of rejection.
Yes. All right. So he just goes, he kind of gets it halfway out before I take it you start.
Yep. It's already lit before he can get anything out.
All right.
Bobby takes a long puff and says, "Tell me, have you propped open a window or two in your time to let the fresh air in?"
I mean, yes.
See. Do you do it in here?
I mean, occasionally, yeah.
Bobby nods his head and looks around. How about in the storage room?
I mean, occasionally if I have to, spend a little bit of time in there, it's nice to get the, get a little bit of air in there.
Well, it doesn't damage the electronics, exposing it to the fresh air.
No, not exactly.
I see. How about drones?
Drones?
Yes. Drones coming in through windows, snatching up parts. Are they bad for them?
I mean, that would be pretty bad.
Yes. So, how long you been working here?
Not too terribly long. Probably about, say, since I started the graduate program, probably about a year.
I see. Where did you work before that, young man?
Well, I haven't worked. I've just been in school.
No? Nowhere else? No one in the area?
I mean, I did a couple summers at a grocery store doing checkout, but nothing major.
You lying?
No.
Alright. You ever been to that hydroponic farming facility 3 blocks over?
I mean, I've walked by it. I haven't like gone in there. He's not lying.
Alright. Well, a quick aside because I don't remember their gimmick. What is not Cygnus? Orion, believe?
Orion. So
Terrorism.
they're basically hold on, get the actual
Terrorism. They love them a terrorism.
So
Right, they worship the
basically,
Chaos Cow.
so basically, Orion is there to basically bring about the start of a new age, basically by destroying current regimes.
Terrorism.
Yes.
And they worship the Chaos Cow. Yes. Bobby takes another long drag from his cigar. Says, "How do you feel about the state of our fair city?"
I mean, it seems pretty nice.
People in charge, you like them?
Yeah, I'm getting along really fine with everyone here. There is not lying.
Talking. I meant the politicians of our city, young man. How you feeling about them?
I don't really follow local politics actually that much. I just kind of mostly focus on my own studies.
See. One last question. How do you feel about chaos?
I like it quiet.
Well, I think that's enough from me. He gestures over Brian.
All right. He's like, yeah.
Show him what I showed you.
Basically, Brian hands Joe the or hands Joel the printout of him opening up the window. He goes, yeah, that's I propped open a window, but I've seen other people do it. I didn't think that would be a problem.
Oh, it's quite a big problem, young man. That window is how someone flew a drone in, snatched some parts, and flew it back out.
Oh, that Is that how they're doing it? You
Okay.
can get a sense of, um, okay. Is lying, is that part of feigning surprise? Does that count as lying?
If it depends on how bad it is, I guess. Like, if it's fake, then yeah, I guess it's technically a lie.
So you can tell that he is feigning surprise.
Bobby smiles. Oh, yes, they are. Tell me, who else propped open a window?
I mean, I don't have any specific examples, but
Oh,
I
come now. Surely you must have made friends with here somewhere. You can tell me.
you do hear someone kind of go over to the kind of walk or kind of wears his hand to the side. Is like, I mean, sorry to butting in, but I've opened a window. There's been plenty of people have opened a window here.
My. Such a flagrant disregard for security here. You need to update your manuals, he says to Brian.
He's like, yeah, I mean, we haven't had issues with drones before, so
Well, it's always the time to start. Bobby stands up from the desk and then kneels down, looks the kid in the eye. Tell me, kiddo, do you believe that chaos can exist in human form?
what?
Do you believe that chaos can exist in human form?
I mean, I suppose that people can be kind of chaotic themselves.
What if I told you I met such a person? A being of pure chaos.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. I go to college. I live on the dorm.
Not like Bobby chuckles at that. I'm sure you have. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something more. Kind of being that could tear down the world.
You ever see one woman trash an entire fucking diner in
Tell
1
me,
hour?
tell me, Joe, is this something that would interest you? And I'm going to do a charm roll for that part.
Okay. So roll. If you're into charm, I would say limited, because so the effect I would say is limited because you're also very intimidating to him. But I would say that it is controlled.
How
Ever
many
see
dice?
someone, just a woman, completely trash a house in an hour?
Alright. Do I have anything else?
Ever see a woman trash a library in the span of 10
Okay.
seconds?
5. I guess that's 5.
All right, so that is a full success. So you charm him, but the effect of it is the fact that he's kind of like, well, I suppose I'd be interested, but nothing that I'd particularly like go out of my way to see. Are you thinking of like a particular person?
Oh, yes. In fact, they're nearby.
That's nice.
So would you be interested in meeting them?
I don't know what you'd want from me,
Oh,
sir.
I think you do. But right now, I want
That-
you to come with me. Because I want you to meet God.
What are you talking about?
Bobby just lowers the glasses down a bit and winks at him and says, "Don't worry, my friend. I know what you are."
What do you think I am? Brian
Bobby
kind
just-
of also gets a little is concerned, is like, what's going on?
Bobby just stands up straight and says, "If you'd like to have that meeting, we gotta go now. Otherwise, I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave you in the hands of Mr. Brian here."
I'm confused. What do you think that I am?
Bobby just lowers down again and whispers in his ear and says, "Orion."
Joe just got his eyes just kind of pop. He's like, you think I'm Orion? I'm not Orion.
You're
I'm not part of them.
Is he lying?
He is not lying.
Well, afraid I've got some bad news for you, young man. Because you are.
What?
I know. You have either two options here. Option A, you are very bad at your job and deserve to be fired for your blatant disregard for security, leaving those windows open. Or option B, you deliberately help someone break into this place.
He just kind of looks. He's like, he just kind of looks. He's like, he just kind of looks. He's like,
Just stammering at this point.
Yeah, he's stammering.
Now, it's option A. I imagine your time. Well, both options. Your time here is coming to an end. But, depending on which one it is, you may or may not have jail time ahead of you. Unless you give me a hand.
Who are you?
Well, I'm Bob B, of course.
So Brian basically kind of butts in and is like, Joel, I don't want this to get messy for you. If you're doing anything to try and help someone, let's just talk it through, and we don't have to make this as bad as it could be.
Abby makes a grand sweeping gesture in Brian's direction, says, listen to the man.
Brian just kind of, at this point, looks like he's going to say something, but he just kind of doesn't. He just kind of puts his head down. He's like, all right, I can, yes, I left the windows open to help, but explaining why is, can we talk somewhere a little bit more secure or secluded?
Sure. Take us to your office, he says to Brian.
Thank you for listening to Hazeltown Story. If you would like to get updates on this show and many other shows hosted by me, LoloDePuzlo, you can follow at Hazeltown Story on Twitter, and if you would like to get to know me more from a personal standpoint, you can follow my personal Twitter at LoloDePuzlo. If you would like to watch this be recorded live, you can go to twitch.tv/LoloDePuzlo and follow the channel for notifications of when this show, as well as other shows like Retro Rank Rhapsody, are being recorded. If you would like to add this podcast to your podcatcher of choice, you can search for WLDP Hazeltown Radio and find us on most major podcatching search engines, or you can manually add rss.hazeltown.life to your podcatcher. Thank you for listening, and I hope you come around for the next episode.